Deciding upon a mutual fund is no mean task, especially with the kind of options that are available to us these days. While the kind of returns that a fund gives is the most important thing on our minds, there are a whole host of other factors that we need to keep in mind before making a decision. And for that, the first thing you need to do is access something called as the fund fact sheet. This is available on the official website of every mutual fund, and it contains all important details about the fund that can help you make an informed decision. It contains crucial facts that tell you whether a mutual fund scheme is aligned with your investment goals or not. So here is a checklist of 9 things that you need to look out for in the mutual fund fact sheet to find the right fund for you. Number 1, on the mutual fund fact sheet, look out for the investment objective of the mutual fund scheme. This tells you the asset classes and geographies that the fund will be investing in, the kind of returns it aims to generate, and the time horizon it requires for it. Number 2, on the mutual fund fact sheet, look out for the risco meter, because this gives you an idea of the kind of risk that a mutual fund scheme will be undertaking. So depending upon your risk appetite, you can decide whether a fund is right or wrong for you depending upon the level of the risco meter of the fund. Number 3, in the mutual fund fact sheet, the fund's exposure to debt and equity and the cash balance available is also mentioned. Make sure you make a note of it because it gives you a clear idea of the financial fundamentals of the scheme. Number 4, the company-wise and sectoral allocation of the fund's investment is also given in the mutual fund fact sheet. This gives you an idea of whether a fund or scheme is diversified or concentrated. And more importantly, it also tells you whether a mutual fund scheme is sticking to its stated investment objectives or not. Number 5, standard deviation. This is a very important metric on the mutual fund fact sheet because it measures the volatility of a mutual fund's returns when compared to its average. For example, if a mutual fund scheme gives average returns of 15%, that's 15%, and the standard deviation is 5%, then that means that the returns from the fund can vary anywhere between 10% to 20%. The higher the standard deviation, the greater the volatility in a fund's returns. Number 6, beta. Beta on the fact sheet is a measure of the volatility of a mutual fund scheme when compared to its benchmark index. So on the fact sheet, if it says the beta is more than 1, then it means the fund is more volatile than the benchmark. If it is less than 1, then it means it's less volatile when compared to the benchmark index. Number 7, alpha. Alpha is a measure of the extra returns earned by a fund when compared to the benchmark returns. While the past performance of a fund is no guarantee for future returns, the alpha tells you how the fund has been performing vis-a-vis benchmark returns. So an alpha of anything more than 0 is considered a good one. Number 8, if 2 funds offer the same level of returns and you cannot decide which one to pick, then the Sharpe ratio on the mutual fund fact sheet can help you do that. This compares the returns of a fund with the kind of risk it is undertaking and provides the risk-adjusted returns. So, the higher the Sharpe ratio, the higher the risk-adjusted returns of a mutual fund scheme. And finally, number 9, the portfolio turnover ratio. This is a measure of the percentage of a mutual fund's holdings that have changed over a year's period of time. You need a mutual fund that's largely stable and doesn't chip and chop and change its holdings within a year. So, the portfolio turnover ratio needs to be either low or moderate at best, because that tells you that the fund is making the right investment decisions with the right information at the right time, and hence it doesn't have to change all that much. For more videos like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us across all social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. @Money9Live is our handle. You Also log on to our website www.money9.com for all the latest from the world of personal finance.